So, it's Mr. Seth Green. I'm gonna play a video about Mr. Seth Green.
He was going to expose all of the sick things in Hollywood. And if you haven't seen my video about Tom Hanks, watch that to get caught up, but I'm going to show you what he said about Seth Green. Unfortunately, Kappy passed away after forcing himself off a bridge, but he said this.
I'm not suicidal. I'm not suicidal.
Now let's see what he had to say about Seth Green.
At the end of the night, it was me, Seth, and his brother-in-law, and Seth turned to me and opened up this secret bookshelf, and he's like, "This is where we keep the children." And I was like, I tried to just put it out of my mind, but then about a month later, Seth, Claire, and I were having a dinner at their house, and Seth said, "We now need to have a talk about chicken." And I was like, oh God.
See? That was the part that nobody really played, was the we got to have a talk about chicken. And that was when he knew that he was a pedophile. He was like, wait, what? And like I said, we just found out that the actual meaning of chicken was about little boys, was about little gay boys. Now, it's kind of interesting that Seth Green also has like I said, a show. And I didn't even know this. I never knew that he was behind the show Robot Chicken. I did not know that. You remember the late night Adult Swim show? Jay Williams, what's going on? You remember the Adult Swim show Robot? I remember we was just talking about that in the chat too, wasn't we? We were just talking about that show in the chat not too long ago. Ain't that crazy? Little did we know that Robot Chicken was a show referencing pedophilia. I can't even say allegedly. Who would have thought? Who would have thought that that's what this show is about? Now, what else is Seth Green in charge of? Seth Green. Wait, he made Family Guy too? Ross Claude. I'm gonna leave this one up. So did he produce this movie? And this is the cover to it? Oh yeah. We got him. Who produced Sex Drive? Okay, this is John Morris, Bob Levy, Leslie Morgan. I was gonna say, wait, he's in the movie though. It does say he's in the movie. Yeah, it is. He's in the movie though. Wait, there was a Star Wars special for Robot Chicken? My goodness. My goodness. Now, let's see here. Seth Green. Now, he did talk about child abuse in Hollywood, but he didn't go into the extent of talking about his own particular experiences in the child abuse in Hollywood. But he more focused on the pressures and work ethic pressures of actors, more so than he did talk about, actual sexual abuse of the children in Hollywood. So it's kind of crazy how he went around that. But this was something else Seth Green was a part of. Now, you see what the title says, right? Yeah, I see what that title says, right? The Rules of Abducting Young Boys. This was on Adult Swim. This is on the Adult Swim channel now. 7.46 million subscribers, and the title of this says, "The Rules of Abducting Young Boys, the Venture Brothers." Let me see something. I'm just looking at who's on the cast of this. Patrick Warburton. I've heard things about Patrick Warburton too, though. I've heard things about him. Oh, he's just wearing a shirt. But look at this clip here.
Get up! Emergency! Our home has been violated!
What time is it?
Go time! I was downstairs sitting in front of the computer masturbating, and then zip! This is sticking out of my neck. My clothes are gone, and the boys are missing.
Oh, my God.
Don't you worry. We'll get them back.
No, I mean, oh, my God, you just told me you were masturbating in front of the computer. That's foul.
Oh, what? You don't?
Well, yeah, but I'm not proud of it.
Look, you can talk about your needless shame later. We have to rescue your sons.
Fine. Well, that's a monarch dart, so we get them or something?
Not so simple. Look, I was in the Guild of Calamitous Intent, and I'm also a recovered pedophile. So if anyone knows the rules about abducting young boys from their bed, it's old Sergeant Hatred.
Why did I let you take this job?
Because I'm great! Plus, I had no job, no home, and refused to leave yours. And not the point. This abduction malarkey is completely against guild law. So we're gonna handle this one the Hatred way.
Shopify's point is...
That's a cartoon on Adult Swim, y'all. That's a cartoon from Adult Swim. An Adult Swim cartoon. Yeah, Robot Chicken's still on YouTube for free, yeah. Kind of thought that show was always off. Justin Furlow, what's going on? Family Guy has some odd scenes purposely that's inexcusable. Yes, they definitely are. And I've never been a subscriber to Family Guy. Family Guy always threw me off as well. Most of Adult Swim programming has subliminal messaging. Yes, it does. Absolutely. The show Moral Oral. Seth Green is a negative funny floating air dancer in front of a mattress store. It's funny. Mr. Pickles was another weird ass show with that dog. I say Adult Swim, I didn't realize had so many, like, I had no idea they had so many different pedophile references. Like, so many different ones. I had no idea. And to find out Seth Green was a part of a lot of the shows that were on there, it just threw me for a loop. It threw me for a fucking loop. Yes, Toonami was the shit though. Toonami was the shit. We can't forget Toonami. But that was interesting to have, like I said, a actual for them to talk about pedophile. To even just say the word, I'm a pedophile. I used to be a retired pedophile in a cartoon show. Regardless of how late it is. Like, these are still cartoons for kids. Like, what the fuck?
Can't fit in those jeans? Be careful with beans.
All right, let's talk about Beans, that musical.
This is her grandma. You won't believe what she does.
This is your mom?
No, she's her grandmother.
What? You're a grandma?
Hollywood actor Seth Green, best known as the voice of Chris on Family Guy, and also the star of many A-list TV shows and movies, was accused back in 2019 by fellow Hollywood actor Isaac Kappy of being a pedophile. Initially, Kappy released information on Twitter, first stating, "People are talking a lot about pedophile jokes. The craziest pedo joke I ever heard was when Seth turned to me and said, 'This is where we keep the children,' as he was pulling back a secret bookshelf that revealed a hidden room at his Malibu house."
I said some crazy shit on Twitter. That is true. Not something I wanted to say, but I'm fucking tired of people lying. I've watched these people just lie and 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 lie, and they will never fucking tell the truth. Seth Green, sorry, my man. I'm fucking so sorry. I never wanted to do this, but you're a pedophile.
Now, Kappy had been a close friend of both Seth Green and his wife, Claire Grant, for quite some time. Here's a number of photographs of them in social settings together. Now, during this interview with Nathan Stolfman, Isaac divulged more information about the relationship he had with Seth Green and how he was first exposed to the secret hidden room behind the bookshelf.
How close friends would you say you were?
We were real close. I was actually more close with Claire than I was with Seth, but yeah, we would hang out, a lot. I would see them usually once a week, if not more. At the end of the night, it was Seth and his brother-in-law and me, and we're in the bottom of the house, the bottom floor. And Seth turns to me and he pulls back this secret bookcase and he's like, "This is where we keep the children." And I was like, okay. And we had been drinking a little bit, so inhibitions were loose. I kind of just he closed it up. I looked inside. I'm like, oh, there's a bedroom and a bed, and that's.
Oh, weird. There was a bedroom and a bed.
I was just kind of like, whoa.
Now, Seth Green is also the creator of the Adult Swim TV show Robot Chicken, which has been running since 2005. Now, the fact that he has named his show Robot Chicken actually reveals a lot of truth and backs up exactly what Isaac Kappy was saying. So first of all, the name Chicken. Here is Nathan and Isaac discussing the fact that chicken is a code word used by pedophiles.
We went over there and we hung out and we were having dinner, and at one point he turns to me and he says, "We need to have a talk about chicken."
And did that mean anything to you when he said that?
Oh, yeah, it did. I mean, because since Pizzagate, I'd been researching and all that stuff. Chicken is a known FBI pedophile code word.
What is the code? What does it mean?
It means child. And I think I'm not exactly sure, but I think it means kind of like a smaller child.
Yeah, it's a very young, like a baby or toddler. There was something on James Alefontis' Instagram where it said chicken lover.
We talked a little bit. He said, I don't remember the exact terminology he said, but he basically said he was into children in a sexual way.
And what a
Bumbleclot! Oh, so that's what you were talking about with James Alefontis. Holy shit. Watch so much reality TV. What's going on? What's going on? Holy shit. Holy shit. Chicken lover. Holding the chicken. Bruh, these niggas, these Hollywood niggas is that. Listen, Diddy is just a scapegoat. These Hollywood niggas is nasty. These are some nasty Hollywood niggas, yo. This shit is getting crazier and crazier the more people we are uncovering. I agree with y'all, yo. I'm glad we played outside back in the day. I'm glad we played outside back in the day. For real, for real. We didn't get sucked into too much TV that our brains got, programmed to do this other wild shit. This shit is nuts. This shit is nuts. I play basketball every day. You know what I'm saying? In my younger teens. And I did other things too, but you know what I'm saying, that I'm not necessarily ashamed of. I mean, that I am ashamed of. Excuse me. I did some things that I am ashamed of, but anywho, Hollywood is nasty, bruh. So we can't like chicken anymore. That's funny. No. It's not that. It's not that. It's just that chicken is definitely a certain reference to pedophilia, and specifically little boys, which is very disgusting. Very disgusting.
About the term robot, surely that's just referring to what everyone would believe the term robot means. But in fact, the term robot derives from a completely different meaning. Here is it being discussed in the movie World's End.
How much do you know? A little. How much is a little? The town's been taken over by robots full of blue stuff. Shh, keep your voice down. You don't even know what you're talking about. So tell us then. Well, they're not robots. Do you even know what robot means? Of course I do. It's like, hello, I am a robot. It means slave. Believe me, they're not slaves.
So the word robot actually derives from the Czech word robota, which means slave. And therefore, the term robot chicken simply translates into child slave.
Fucking crazy, right? Fucking nuts, right? The whole time, robot chicken being child slave. Or little. I was gonna say little boy slave. That's what it, because that's what chicken was. We found out, but that's crazy. That, man, that kind of fucked up my childhood there though, because we used to watch Robot Chicken. Everybody used to watch Robot Chicken. Everybody used to watch Robot Chicken. Especially from that generation. You stayed up to watch that and got a laugh or two. But who would have thought that you were being watched and programmed for this type of shit? Like all the Illuminati references that were in between the commercials and whatnot that you saw was weird as hell. And you just, saying bypass it and whatnot. Little did you know. Little did you know. Oh, how little did we know, y'all. How little did we know. Right, this is a video about Isaac,
we
Kappy
work
and
harder
Paris.
than I think anybody else and take on harder jobs, and people know that. If you tell somebody you work for Litchfield, they say, man, y'all roll.
This is a long advertisement, Jesus Christ. This is a long advertisement. Let me see something. Oh no, this is when he supposedly had accused James Gunn of also being a pedophile. And that says researchers here finally cracked the secret pedophilia code, which, I mean, we just looked over it, which is pretty much the secret pedophilia code is, without going into detail of the article, it's pretty much just breaking down the different code words that are used for pedophilia, such as chicken, the list that we looked at before, things of that nature. Another quick thing I wanted to look at, let me see. So I can get rid of this too. Oh yeah, so he had called, he also had mentioned Dane Cook. And I wasn't familiar with who Dane Cook was until I looked up. Let me see, do I still have his thing up here? Oh, this was interesting too. Paris Jackson, Michael Jackson's daughter, said this. Paris Jackson says she had very similar experiences to Paris Hilton's alleged boarding school abuse. So apparently Paris Hilton was sexually abused in boarding school as well, prior to her, I guess you could say, rise to fame in Hollywood, which was interesting because you would think Paris was just trafficked and made millions of dollars. That's what it sounds like. Like she pretty much was paid to be trafficked and just made money off of it and just said, fuck it. I'm just going to, continue to make these millions. She's pretty much if you think about it, Paris Hilton was pretty much a porta potty girl, just said, fuck it, I'm just going to continue to be rich. James Gunn, the world's unfunniest comedian. Yeah, so this is James Gunn right here, the other guy that he accused. And when you look at him, he just looks weird as hell. I ain't gonna lie. He just looks weird as hell. Let me see something. Oh, wow. But then that comes right up. James Gunn fired. He says it right there. James Gunn fired by Disney after a long history of pedophilia comments spotlighted. Hollywood director James Gunn's relationship is over with Disney after a sordid history of pedophilia and rape comments were spotlighted on social media. The man behind Marvel's blockbuster Guardians of the Galaxy movies was ceremoniously fired on Friday after years of lewd jokes and strange sexual comments sparked YouTube videos and trending Twitter hashtags. Disney announced, oh wow. Disney announced the decision before he was scheduled to appear at San Diego Comic-Con. The offensive attitudes and statements discovered on James' Twitter feed are indefensible and inconsistent with our studio's values, and we have served our business relationship with him. Walt Disney Studios chairman Alan Horn said in a statement, for the record, when I made these shocking jokes, I wasn't living them out. I know this is a weird statement to make and seem obvious, but still, here I am saying it, James Gunn. Nasty fucker. I'll tell you, all these things is nasty. All of them. But this is the other one about Dane Cook he talked about. So a deep dive on Dane Cook and his friendship with teenage girls. 2016 and 2017. It focuses on how when Dwayne actually met Kelsey and Dane's relationship with Kelsey, former bestie Saxon Shabino, who was between 15 and 17 when she was hanging out with Dane. Again, more evidence. Okay, so another quick video I want to look at before we do another deep dive with Isaac Kappy is, let me see. Oh yeah, I forgot about this video here.
So shills are coming in hard. One of whom, I got a message, I don't know, like a week ago, like, hey, what about Feldman? What about Corey? Like he's saying, like, I'm like, leave him alone. He's been through enough. But that all changed, okay? That all changed because Corey's coming at me. Corey Feldman, you are fake news and you protect pedophiles like Steven Spielberg. Corey Feldman, you were a little bitch, okay? You sold people on false promises and you're getting exposed now. I told people, leave them alone, but you know what? You come after me, it's war, okay? So, sorry, you were exposed, you were fake. Yeah, okay, straight up. A lot of people looked up to you. They thought you were going to help, but you never did. You asked for $10 million to make a movie to expose pedophiles. You know what it takes to expose pedophiles? Pick up a smartphone and get on the internet. That's all it takes, okay? Yeah, and by the way, like, this is funny to me. If he's protecting these people, why aren't they paying him better? Okay? It seems like, they should be at least taking care of him. Corey's fake, okay? And that means everything Corey has said before is suspect. So we need to go back and look into what he's said, all right?
I can destroy you right now, and you know it.
Corey, I'm sitting right here.
I don't need to do that. I don't have to do that.
Corey, I'd love to see you even attempt to do something like that.
Are you kidding me?
Do I look like I'm kidding you right now?
You're an easy target, bro.
I'm right here. Let's do this. I'm right here. Hit me with the hardest bull you got.
Now, why would I want to try and hurt you?
Corey, you opening up to the world about me having a knife in my pocket, and the reason I wear this, man, is like to cover up some scars I have, because like I used to cut into myself, because it's a way to feel. I hear, and like mentioning that, you just rip the envelope, man. I'll go you one better. You let me get around in my life, man, raped, so to speak, when I was about 14 and a half, and I'm saying this right now, by the guy you still hang out with, and tell me I'm 14 and a half, take responsibility. You know exactly what I'm talking about. What'd you do, man, when you saw that going down when I was 14 to me? What'd you do? You knew about it. Besides being his best friend. What'd you do? What'd you do? Tell us what you did, man.
I believe
Lines of cocaine with me. God bless you.
You want to talk about the truth? Okay, well, then let's talk about the truth. I was being molested at the same time by somebody else. What'd you do? What'd you do?
Talk to you about it.
You talked to me about it?
Yeah, sure. You told me while I was sleeping, this happened. I'm like, dude,
right.
You weren't sleeping. Yeah.
While I was sleeping. And the crazy thing is, while I'm hearing this, I don't hear an argument. I hear two people literally, I hear two young souls crying out in the middle of a conversation saying, why didn't you help me? Why was there no one to help me? That fucks me up hearing, yo. Every time I see this video, it fucks me up. And yes, rest in peace to Corey Haim, yo. Because it fucks me up seeing that. It really does. And he's right. Like, where the fuck were you, Corey Feldman? Where the fuck were you, Corey Feldman? Still hanging out with Mr. Sheen, huh? Still hanging out with Mr. Sheen, huh? Did you hear what list of names they have for codes in order to know what type of sexual act they're going to use on the child when it comes to pedophilia? It is insane. Yeah, that's another thing. So that was a document recently that we were just looking at, where it says our researchers had that's this document right here. It says researchers have finally cracked the secret pedophilia code. It's pretty much was talking about the list of different codes, different names. I also have the list. I also had the list here. Let me see. Do I still have that? Let me see. Yeah, so I got the symbols right here. We went over the symbols before. This is the FBI symbolism for pedophilia. Which all these symbols mean. And they broke down the list of code. And they have, like I said, the list of code names in that little article there. Let's see, they have one recently from 2020 they put out. I don't know why they got okay, that's not the one I'm looking for right there. Let me see. Or is it the same one? Oh, it was it. You even had the cheese pizza one, so there's oh, here I am thinking my Google search was up there. Eh. So this is the one I was on. Yeah, this is the one I was on. Child predators visiting homework sites and games with two-way chat during COVID-19. To best protect your kids from online predators, you need to do more than just monitor your child's secret time. According to cybersecurity expert Chris Hagney, you need to know where predators hang out and how to spot code words criminals use to lure and expose kids. There's more child abuse content being produced than ever before. Like, if y'all ever look at a video on like Roblox, in child predators is pretty fucking sickening. It's pretty fucking sickening. It is pretty fucking sickening. Like, so they used to use one called cheese pizza. CP stands for child pornography. That's crazy. So the CP was just cheese pizza. They would say who would like a slice of cheese pizza, and that would be a code word to another pedophile that they would be willing to trade this kind of content. That's wild. Wild. And they got the researchers that finally cracked the code. Let's see, is it how? Let me see. So when Chris Hughes started removing child abuse images and videos from the internet almost a decade ago,
but when the agency started getting a lot of demand, I hired 2 people. One of them off of online jobs.
I didn't know that video was gonna start like that. Ah, okay, that's what I was looking for. This is the Internet Watch Foundation. Okay, so I was looking to see if they had the list of codes up here. I was looking to see if they had a list of codes up here. So that article just pretty much just talks about it, but doesn't have the actual list up here. Is this it? Okay, no, they don't have the actual list. Remember we tried to look up this before with the list of code names, and it was hard to find. It was hard to find before. Okay, so where's the other video we were just looking at here? Oh, that's right. That's right. Okay, so next thing before I play. Next thing before I get into the voodoo donuts that Isaac Kappy was trying to expose as well. Sloan Bella actually covered him.
Hi everyone, I'm Sloan from SloanBella.com, and I'm back with another channeled video. This one has a little bit of a twist to it, and this person was more of a channeled celebrity on the internet or YouTube. And I'm talking about Isaac Kappy, who passed away apparently as he, and this is their words, not mine, forced himself off a bridge. Now, I just want you guys to first and foremost pay attention when you're reading anything in the media, reading anything online, to the way that it's worded. In every single article that I read on Isaac Kappy, they use the word he forced himself off a bridge. If you are forcing yourself off a bridge, you are not going of your own free will, or they wouldn't be using the word force. Now, remember, and this is where my mind went immediately, remember, when it comes to things like sigil magic, they will tell you, whoever is orchestrating the energy around a certain ritual, they will tell you what they're doing. And so the word forced is very telling to somebody like me. So they are letting you know that he forced himself off the bridge, which makes no sense. If you're committing suicide, you're jumping off the bridge, or you're hanging off the bridge, or you're flailing yourself off the bridge, but you are not forcing yourself, because if you have to force yourself, you wouldn't be doing it. It's ridiculous. But anyway.
Still the whole thing, even about, where they were talking about, well, in Sloan's video, where witnesses tried to stop him, but they failed. That was a little bit odd to me. It's like, how do you stop somebody? How do you try to stop somebody from jumping off, and then you just fail? Like, you were grabbing onto him and he just said, ah. No, that doesn't just happen.
aside from that, I really wanted to start from a neutral palette about what was going on with Isaac Kappy. Now, for those of you who don't know Isaac Kappy, he is a former actor who participated in several movies along his way, his career, and he was very vocal in the latter half of his life, well, actually probably the last 4 years, in outing people in Hollywood for their apparent abuse of children. And he was nonstop with it. He was speaking about it day in, day out. He did videos. A lot of his YouTube channel has been scrubbed and taken down. A lot of the work that he did in articles and writing, I can't find online anymore, which is interesting. It's almost as if they tried to wipe him out and push him aside. Now, here's what I did pick up with him. Of the people he accused in Hollywood of being abusive towards children, there were some huge big name stars. So I can see why he would have a big target on his forehead from people around, you know, the Hollywood sphere, because he would be basically picking up steam and speed. He had a lot of followers. People were listening to him and nobody was suing him or taking him to court, telling him to shut his mouth. So quite interestingly, he forced himself off a bridge. But let me get past that and pick up on the energy. I wanted to actually try to understand the energy around the situation. And it was, so I started to meditate on Isaac, and I've been thinking about it. And my initial reaction to what happened to Isaac was I was pissed off, because I could pretty much tell you that was coming. And it may sound ludicrous, but I could pretty much tell you that this man was going to end up dead on some level through some, quote, accident or forced off a bridge situation and circumstance. But it really angered me the minute that I heard it, and I probably heard it within 10 minutes that it started to be reported. Here is the problem that I was having with it, because and I did look over the videos of his last upload, and I did look at a lot of his videos prior to that to see the tempo of the personality. What I got intuitively, and this is not directly connecting with Isaac, because I haven't been able to do that exactly the way that I can connect with other people, nor have I tried, but I wanted to start a video with this so I could do a bunch of videos on Isaac after this as it goes. But what I picked up with him, so let's say you are a person who is speaking the truth about a circumstance and people don't like it. That will make you a target. I think if you remember, there was a movie about the tobacco company and the whistleblower with the tobacco company, and he had to get away from his family and he feared for his life. You know, in any circumstance where there's big money involved and secrets of a perverted or a harmful nature, people are going to try to take you out. But in this particular instance, I don't actually believe that Isaac took his own life. I feel like this was a programmed, I'm going to use the word a programmed trance, but I've seen it with other people and other clients that I've dealt with. I've seen it over the years and I never knew quite how to label it, but it was very apparent to me when I started to focus on the energy around this circumstance. There are two ways that people, actually probably many ways, but two ways that people can be murdered. One is at the hands of another on this planet in an earthbound body, and the other is opening the door to demonic possession or demonic influence. Now, again, how do we do that? We don't. We try not to. But if we are doing it, it's because we are on drugs and alcohol, or we have done some sort of sexual magic ritual to open up those portals. Because keep in mind, what we think we can do on earth and what we really can do from a heightened perspective, we're not given that information. It's blocked a lot from us. So there's many things that we do and walk into as human beings and people without even understanding what we are actually doing.
So remember when he actually said that he had done something stupid? Remember when he kept saying, I did something really, really dumb? And I'm a bad person, and I opened up the door for those demonic spirits. Remember he kept saying that verbatimly? I think that's what he's talking about. My star, what's going on? Menendez in this energy. Absolutely, absolutely. He opened up the door to demonic energy, and whatever spirit he let in, I don't think he realized I don't think he did it on purpose. I truly don't think he did it on purpose. I think that's the stupid thing that he did, is what she's talking about. And furthermore, after this video, what she's also talking about, I think now I finally figured out what his code he was trying to say was dead man switch was. I think this is what he was talking about with dead man switch. His energy got switched somehow. This ritualistic killing that happened to him involved his energy being shifted somewhere else, and he got killed somehow in the spiritual world. That's what she's getting at.
So if you open the door through drugs and alcohol and you let that energy in through, and it can come in through people that you are around, people that you are physical with, people that you have sexual contact with. And if you open the door to that energy, you will notice, and you have heard, I'm sure all over the news, the media, wherever, that people will say they heard voices. Now, going all the way back to Joan of Arc, she too heard voices. It's just a matter of where are those voices coming from. And the voices are not necessarily schizophrenic. You're not necessarily mentally ill. There are many different ways in which those thoughts can be programmed into the human aura. And that's what I feel happened. I feel for some reason that Isaac was playing with some sort of elevated meditation or elevated ritualistic practice. I also feel that there was something that Isaac stepped into next to the guise of someone that was a friend, and this is female. This is a female person. This is somebody who presented themselves as his friend and presented themselves as someone who was on his side for quite some time. And I believe at this point that Isaac was either dulled or nullified to the experience of what was going on. Meaning, to me, what that means is when somebody, roofies you, puts something in a drink, tunes your brain out due to whatever. Now, I want you to keep in mind too, there are certain rhythms and beats. If you go to certain musical places or you've seen certain tribal things where you hear the drums beating in a particular array of movement, which formulates an energetic barrier. These things happen. Most people don't think of it. Most people are like, that's just drumming or that's just music. If you are susceptible to certain things, then you can fall into a, quote, trance-like circumstance that allows your logical thinking to move in a different direction. And I feel like this is what happened to Isaac. Now, let's just say you are a person that was around somebody, and let's say they did roofie you. I'm going to use the word roofie. It's been years, but anyway, I'm going to use that word. Let's say they put something in your drink, in your food, whatever. I do get that Isaac was very cautious about this, but I do believe that he trusted this person and let them into his life. And so if you're going to do that, let's say you wake up from that circumstance and somebody says to you, oh my God, look what happened here. Now, as Isaac said in many of his videos, the key to elevated success on earth, which is, and he didn't word it like that, but that is money, success, fame, wealth, acknowledgement, is through blackmail. That is exactly what happened to him. But I don't feel he did anything that he should have thought was blackmail. So I am feeling like he was tricked into thinking that he did something that he could be blackmailed for when he didn't really do something that he could be blackmailed for. And I hear the voices inside of his head, meaning I hear them telling him to kill himself. There are times when I have heard spirits with people where the people have actually committed suicide, and it's been the spirit on the other side. We'll call it demonic, we'll call it alien, call it whatever you want, but it's been the essence in a non-human form directing and orchestrating the person who at a moment of depression or sadness vibration, which is a lower vibration down here. It's very easy to attach to that when you are a nefarious energy on the other side.
New Eyes, what's going on? What's going on with you? So, again, referring back to Dead Man Switch, pretty much the demonic spirit that he opened the door to, that took a hold of him, pretty much forced him to even get up on that bridge in the first place. Now, I also think that he was kidnapped and possibly just put on that bridge and forced off, allegedly. I'm just going to be honest. But I also see what she's talking about as well, to where that demonic possession took a hold of him. We've seen that happen in the movies plenty of times, where the person was demonically possessed and committed suicide. Hell, we just seen it with Fort Bragg, where the guy blew his brains out in the Cybertruck. Another guy had a shootout with police. Plenty cases of that.
That's why you always have to keep your energy elevated. When they say it's easier to put a smile on your face and be happy, that is true, but the real reason behind it is so that you don't become prey.
That's another one, Blue Muse. That's a good one right there. What they used the voice to skull tech that we looked over before, where they can pretty much beam messages inside to your head. Similar to how the gentleman that was supposedly waterboarded and just decided to tell everything, but because he saw Allah in his sleep the night before. I think because of the evidence that he had and infiltrated and got, I think that is why they got him in the first place.
To energies that can attach themselves in a negative sense to your feelings of lack, weakness, and depression. I feel like that's what happened to Isaac. So when they say he forced himself off a bridge, I really believe it was murder. Now, on a soul level or behind the scenes. And I don't mean necessarily like somebody came up, put him in a car, and threw him off a bridge. I'm actually talking with some sort of energy which he could hear on a frequency level, encouraging him to do what he was doing without him being fully aware of what he was doing.
In Blue Moose, you just said that. You literally just said that.
So it is orchestrated. It is, his energy was tampered with. This was something that was not of his own volition. I do not believe he killed himself the way that they're trying to make it seem. I do believe that he did jump off the bridge, but not of his own accord. I believe this was being spoken to him in his head, and he didn't have the wherewithal with which to push it back and say stop. Also, I feel him looking around and he's got nowhere to go. I also feel that what he thinks he did in a corruptive manner was not exactly what he did. I do know that he did a huge gamble and the gamble didn't pay out. The way I'm going to word this to you is I feel like he took a gamble on something. This is information based to me. I am seeing an envelope handed over and I'm seeing it push like this, and I see one coming back at him. So I think he took payment for something and was double crossed. This is actually what I feel. And I feel that he agreed to it against himself, and that as a result of that, he felt like he betrayed everybody. I don't actually think he betrayed everybody, because I don't think human beings are perfect. And I don't think that he did anything that warrants that kind of hatred toward the self. I feel it then stepped in, the energy outside of him, the voices outside of him, making him respond in a way, shutting him down energetically. Now, the only thing I can't figure out is if this was actually spirit-based or government-based, which sounds really weird, but meaning of human mechanical ideology, or literally demonic on the spirit side, because it's striking me as demonic, but I've learned a lot of what we think is actually spiritual realm has to do with human realm, government realm. So I am not sure which it is, but I am going to start meditating on it and see what I get from it. I can tell you that I can see the voices permeating his head, telling him to do this. I can see it, but yet I can see him fighting. But it's interesting because he doesn't know how to take this. So it's like he's trying to avoid something. And I feel the reason for his trip, I know they said he was going somewhere purposefully, but I feel like the reason for his trip was actually to get away from it, and he couldn't stop it from speaking. And I feel almost, and I have to word it this way, I have no idea what this means, and forgive me if it sounds completely insane, but I feel as if he walked up on that bridge and it was almost remote control, methodical like. I'm not thinking this is just what I do, robotic. That's what I get with him. And I haven't even connected to his energy. I'm trying to connect to the energy that I feel around it, what I first felt when I heard it. That's the first video I have for you, and I will be back with more videos on Isaac Kappy. I want you guys to start researching.
So, trust me, we are Sloan. We are Sloan. Thank you for saying that, too. Thank you for sharing that. The picture of him sitting on the bridge. I just saw something, too, with that, which is very interesting. Right? So, this is the picture of him being on the bridge. Right? Now, when I scroll down here, I see this picture here. You know, these are the accident photos here, of course. Right? In which it looked like he fell back and then the car hit him. But what was even interesting about this was he was shot in the eye. Where's Kappy's documentary? So let me see something here. So there's nothing but that little tweet right there that says he was shot in the eye. I guess there was someone that actually looked under the picture before they yeah, they don't have it they don't have it where you can easily just look it up, but as I said, it's kind of interesting that someone found that one picture there and was able to see that he actually had a bullet wound to the eye before he passed. I think that's a very interesting detail right there, that he had a bullet wound in his eye. The theorizing theorist. And of course, when you look up pictures of Isaac Kappy at the bridge, look who comes up. Tom Hanks. Again.